Hello, and welcome hopefully to another edutaining episode of Create Simple Meals. Um, Two things, I hope you saw that quote earlier when the show was coming on about cooking is not chemistry, it's art, because that's exactly what it is. But today, besides all that, today we are doing a seafood stuffed bell pepper. Now, the recipe is going to call for ingredients that I'm not using. And I know some of you have been watching this show sometime, but like every time he's doing a recipe, it ain't what the recipe says. Well, because this is Create Simple Meals and we don't follow rules other than them 3 rules of which I've always told y'all. You must have passion, you must have patience, and you must be willing to practice. But with that said, sometimes you have to change the composition of a recipe, either A, because you don't like certain ingredients, or B, you can't find them, or you just want to put a twist on it. So today we're going to put a couple of twists on this seafood stuffed bell pepper. So for the seafood stuffed bell pepper, we take 6 medium bell peppers. We cut the tops off those, rinse them out, took the seeds out, and we parboiled those in some salt water already, shocked them in some cold water, set them to the side. Now what we're getting ready to do is we're going to saute off the rest of the ingredients in some butter. Now the recipe calls for lump crab, shrimp, crawfish tails. However, a couple of things. A, I couldn't find no crawfish tails, so I was like, you know what? I got shrimp, I got the crab meat, but since I can't find crawfish tails, we're going to add sausage into ours. It shows you the versatility of all these recipes. You tweak it to what you want to do. So the first thing we're going to do here, we already got some butter melted. We're going to saute off the sausages first. 2 reasons. One, to get them nice and brown, to release more of that oils in there before we start adding in the rest of these ingredients. As always, folks, while you're sitting there watching us saute, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube and hit that notification bell so you see when we're on. Follow us and like us on Facebook. You'll also get the shows on there. And like us on Instagram. And as my daughter say, tap into us on TikTok. Also, if you have any questions whatsoever, please email me at askme@createsimplemeals.com. If you're on our website, createsimplemeals.com, you can also, on the contact page, there's a messenger feature. So you can send us a message every now and again. And if I'm available at that moment, use within no more than 30 minutes or so, unless I'm cooking, I will respond to you for all your burning questions. Keep on watching, folks. Thanksgiving is upon us. I hate saying certain things because it dates the show, but Thanksgiving is upon us, so I will soon be doing some Thanksgiving recipes such as deep fried turkey. So keep on watching us. Again, for today's recipe, we are doing stuffed bell peppers. We've already cut off the tops of some bell peppers. We've parboiled them in some salt water. We're now getting ready to saute off the meat that's going in there, along with some garlic cloves, some onions, some bell peppers, and some celery. We're going to add in some parsley, a little bit Cajun seasoned hot sauce. And we're going to go ahead and stuff these things into the bell peppers and bake them at 350 for about 35 minutes or so. All right, release all that oil that you can in there. Now, as far as the bell peppers, you don't have to use any particular one. My daughter wanted me to use green or red. I end up using green and yellow. But here's another thing. So the recipe calls for 6 bell peppers, but there's also a half a cup of bell peppers inside the mixture. So me being the brainiac that I am, I went and bought bell peppers for that. It didn't occur to me that when you chop off those tops, that was enough bell peppers. So don't be like me. Save yourself some money. When you buy your 6 bell peppers, when you slice the tops off of those and pop that stem out, you're going to use that exact same tops for your stuffing as well. That'll be about a 1/4 cup, maybe a little bit more. So right now, get this temperature as high as we can. We sauteing off the bell peppers, the onions, the garlic, and the celery. So you want to saute this off, get them nice and soft. Maybe start browning just a little bit in that same butter that we had on here. And I like the way all these colors look. Now just another side bit, ain't got nothing to do with this particular recipe. You know, you can't buy a stalk of celery. I bought a whole thing of celery. Again, the holidays are coming up, so pro tip. I chopped up all that celery and I put them in bags, 1 cup to each Ziploc bag, threw them in the freezer. So when Thanksgiving come around or any other meal when I need celery, already diced up, already frozen, got it good to go, and save myself 1 extra step in preparing the recipe. If you look in my freezer, I got so much Ziplocked and what them things called, vacuum sealed, either leftover meals that I repurpose into something else. I strongly encourage you, stop throwing away leftovers. Get you a vacuum sealer, vacuum seal that. Get you some Ziploc bags when you have extra vegetables. It will save you time in the long run and make those simple meals that you're creating a whole lot more simple. Again, folks, please don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit that notification bell. Like us on Facebook. We also live stream on there. And follow us on Instagram. As my daughter says, tap into us on TikTok. If you have any questions whatsoever, please send us an email at askme@createsimplemeals.com, or you can go to our website and send us an instant message on the contact page. As always, this show is brought to you by the Self-Employed Tax Guy and Self Lodge Planning. So for all your business consultation needs, your tax preparation needs, please hit up the Self-Employed Tax Guy. And for all your group and individual travel, please hit up Self Lodge Planning. If you are just now tuning in, we are doing some seafood stuffed bell peppers. We parboiled off some bell peppers in some salt water, and we're going to stuff them with a mixture of shrimp and some other meats, and the holy trinity of celery, bell peppers, and onions, and along with a little bit of garlic. And we're going to saute these off, folks, for about roughly 10 minutes or so. All right, folks, so them are all sauteed down. Now we're going to go ahead and add in the shrimp. And if y'all have heard me on this show once, you done heard me 1,000 times. I hate rubbery shrimp, so please don't cook these things till they start curling. When they start turning pink, you want to stop, because you realize we still got to add in the crab. We still have to put this into the oven. It's still got to sit there for 35 minutes in there, so you don't want a bunch of rubbery behind shrimp. So please do yourself a favor. When these things start getting, matter of fact, as you see now, when they start blending into the colors and you start seeing less white and more pink, we're going to go ahead and shut this off. We're going to add in the rest of the ingredients. Trust me, it's not going to be in the what they call the unsafe zone for more than 5 minutes, if that. Because as soon as we're done with this, they're going into an already preheated 350-degree oven. While that's doing that, let me go ahead and get the rest of the ingredients that we're going to need. So on the recipe, I put cheddar cheese. But every time I mix seafood and cheese together, a friend of mine or dad has said got a taste for hockey or hockney. I forget how they said. They from they Creole. Okay, they from Louisiana. And so every time I mix seafood with cheese, I think I have this man's head. There's a voice in my head. But with that said, although the recipe I put in says cheddar cheese, I was like, I don't want to just use cheddar cheese. So I'm using a mix of cheddar cheese and mozzarella. Use whatever cheese you like. I almost did pepper jack, but since I'm going to add in some hot sauce into this, just a dash or two, I didn't want to make it too spicy because my wife ain't a big fan of spicy food. So also, although the recipe does call for salt, do not, in my opinion, you should not add this salt until after you've mixed everything together and give it a taste test. Because you got that cheese, which actually has salt in it. You have this Creole season that we just added in that has salt in it. You don't want to make it too salty. You can always add more salt, but you can never take the salt out. Well, that's not necessarily true. There are tips you can do with soups where you can add a potato to it, but this ain't no soup. So err on the side of caution. All right, so what we're about to do now is we're going to shut this heat off. We're just going to mix this all together, and we're going to add in this parsley. Now, because as I anticipate this was going to be a large amount of food, this is why you got to watch the show. Tell your friends, because everything ain't going to be written down. I decided to bring a bowl and mix it up in there because I knew this was going to be just a little bit too much. So let's go ahead and put this all in this bowl. Get this other stuff out of our way. Uh-oh, spilled my beer. Get this other stuff out of our way for now. Grab me a cleaning rag. And then what we're going to do, might as well finish the rest of it. We're going to mix this together. Get everything in there dancing nice and well with each other. We already got our bell peppers sitting here, already been part boiled. They're sitting in a little bit of water because you got to put a little bit of water in the bottom of the baking pan that you're going to use. Let's go ahead and before we go any further, let's give this a slight taste test to see if we need to adjust the seasoning. Okay, I want to add a little bit more Creole seasoning to mine. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add in these breadcrumbs. Now, it calls for Italian breadcrumbs, but again, no rules, just right. I said, you know what? I had some old panko in there. So this is a mixture of Italian breadcrumbs and panko because I wanted to put a little extra crunch in mine. Again, when you're doing a recipe, remember, tweak it to your liking. Because here on Create Simple Meals, as I've always told you, the only 3 rules that we have is you must have passion, you must have patience, and you must be willing to practice. While you're watching me sit here and mix this stuff up, folks, please remember, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, hit that notification bell, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Tap into us on TikTok. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please email us at askme@createsimplemeals.com. I can tell you already, folks, this is way more stuffing than we gonna need. So I'm gonna have to figure out another meal to do with the rest of this tomorrow. Now let's add in just a little bit of cheese, not all of it. You want to add about a cup of the cheese in here. You're gonna use the rest of it to top off. And I should have brought me a glove so I can get my hands in here, but we can go and mix it as is. Make it look pretty for y'all, because normally I would have got my hands all up in here. You want to incorporate, see? That's why I end up putting it in the bowl and not that pan, because we definitely would have had a mess on here. And it's funny, when I was doing this, I was like, hey man, for once in your life, don't go overboard use the measurements that you tell the folks. So I promise you, I actually did the measurements. I'm lying. I did put in a little bit more shrimp than the recipe calls for. But other than that, I promise you, I did everything as I put the recipe on our website. I just added in a couple of more shrimp. Okay, so now that we got that done, folks, we're going to take that and we're going to scoop that into each of these already prepared, what I call these things? Bell peppers. Now, I don't know if y'all can see this one right here. If you're doing this, especially if you got a party or something and you want to show off with this, make extra bell peppers. Because true to my nature, I fully tore one and half tore another one. So, yeah. You might want to make extra just in case. Let me go and pull this over more into the shot and let y'all get a closer look in there. We don't know how this one's going to turn out because that's the one that split completely down the side. But we'll figure it out. Now, because I'm always going to do something that just gone, top them off. This is one of them things I call like one of them recipes that don't need no sides. Okay, that was too much. You did too much on that one, buddy. It's one of them recipes that don't need no sides. Depending on how big your eaters are in your home, they can get 2 of these, and that should suffice. But knowing my family, which I'll probably eat 1 of these, because it is quite a lot. Now to that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take some of this extra cheese. Put on top of each one of these. Yeah, that one's going to fall apart. I can tell you that already. And then we're going to go ahead and bake them off. So again, folks, you're just now catching this stream. Took 6 bell peppers and we parboiled those off in some, some salt water for about 10 minutes. We took those out, shocked them in some cold water. Then we sauteed off our meat mixture. Whatever seafood that you're putting there, we sauteed that off along with some garlic cloves, some chopped onions, bell peppers, celery. Once that was done, we took that out, folded in our parsley, added a little bit of Cajun season, some hot sauce, and the lump crab, along with some cheese and some breadcrumbs. Now we're going to take this inside. We already have an oven sitting at 350 degrees, and we're going to bake this for about 30 minutes, and then we'll show you the final product. So until we come back, folks, just remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you know when we're coming on. Like us on Facebook. We do stream on there every now and again. Follow us on Instagram. Tap into us on TikTok. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please email me at askme@createsimplemeals.com. Or if you're on our website, on the contact page, there is a message and notification system there. If you send a question, I usually get back to you within 30 minutes if I'm not otherwise busy. We will be right back, folks, in about 30 minutes. We're going to do that movie magic thing and show y'all the final results. All right, folks, we are back. So we've already cooked this for 30 minutes. We let it cool down for about 10 minutes or so. Just to let you know, no, it was not covered in the oven. I'm just covering it because I'm outside. But we did not, and I was letting it cool off in the house. But we did not cover. You bake it uncovered with a little bit of water in the pan. So just to recap, today what we did was a seafood stuffed bell pepper. We took 6 medium bell peppers. We cut the tops off those. We rinsed them and took the seeds out of them. We then parboiled them in some salt water for about 10 minutes. Took them out, put them in a water bath to shock them, stop them from cooking. Then we sauteed off some our meats and some celery, onions, bell pepper, a little bit of garlic, and some butter. After that, we shut off the heat, added in the crab meat and a little bit of parsley, season it with some Cajun seasoning, some hot sauce, and if you feel like you need it, you can add in some salt, but this one didn't need it. We then folded in some breadcrumbs and some cheese, mix it all together, and we stuffed the bell peppers, topped them off with cheese, and then we baked that at 350 for about 30 minutes and let it cool down for 20 minutes. So, now, we done went through all that. Let y'all see this final product. And again, folks, as always, please do not forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, hit that notification bell, like us on Facebook. We do live stream on there every now and again, and follow us on Instagram, tap into us on TikTok. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you can always email me personally at askme@createsimplemeals.com. Also on our website, if you go to the communications tab, there is a messenger feature on there. So if you send it, it sends me an instant message. And unless I'm busy, I usually respond with no less than 20-30 minutes. So if you have, especially during the holidays, you get into a jam, please go ahead and hit me on that createsimplemeals.com messaging board. Okay, so now let's go ahead and here and let's try this out. Let's take this out here. And you know the brainiac in me sat there and balled up the foil because I'm smart. All right, folks. So you see that there? It's going to get us a zoom in on there. And let's go ahead and see. I don't know if we're supposed to cut into this or not, but I'm going to go ahead and cut into it. And we're going to try it that way. And see what this definitely see all the shrimp and the other meats in there. Definitely didn't need more salt, so I'm glad I didn't add salt to it. Just occurred to me, if you didn't want to make this as a seafood, stuffed seafood bell pepper, you could also add in some other breading and make this into a shrimp dressing or seafood dressing. This is actually pretty good. You can actually use it for the holidays. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's definitely going to be on my holiday menu because this is one of them years. I think I do this seems like every 8 years or so. I don't do traditional Thanksgiving. This is one of them years. It's actually pretty good. So, just to recap again, that's the recipe, folks. Real simple. Sauteed off some ingredients, some whatever seafood or meats you like, some breading, put some cheese in there, stuff that in the bell pepper, and we baked it on off. It's not a complicated recipe at all. Remember, because I always say, even though the recipe called for crawfish, we couldn't find any crawfish, so we substituted in ours some sausage. So play with it as you want, because as always, you know there's absolutely no rules when it comes to Create Simple Meals. We just have a passion, a patience, and you have to have a little bit of practice with it. As always, folks, please continue to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Tap into us on TikTok. Please email all your questions, anything you need to know, want to know, or if you'd like to see on the show, please email us at askme@createsimplemeals. Until next time, folks, remember, as always, those 3 rules. You must have passion, you must have patience, and you must be willing to practice. We will see you again right here next week on Create Simple Meals. Stay tuned, folks, and always remember to visit our website, createsimplemeals.com, for all our videos and all our recipes that you see here.